Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm Mami Hino, the moderator of today's webinar. The title of the webinar is Attracting Young Talent to IP Field. As a member of the D&I committee of AIPPI and also a member of managing committee of a law firm based in Tokyo, Abe-Kubo Katayama, I'm thinking about how to attract young talent to IP field every day. And I'm really excited to be here today. We have a great panels with us today. But before asking them to introduce themselves, I just give you a few housekeeping things. This webinar will be recorded and will be available pretty soon after this at the AIPPI website. If you have questions to the speakers, please put that in the question and answer box at the bottom of this screen. You don't have to wait until the end of this discussion. Anytime that please write the questions to us. I will address the questions at the end of the discussion. For technical problems, if you have technical problems, please send a message in the chat box to AIPPI events. And there will be a brief survey at the end of this webinar. We really appreciate your feedback and suggest anything, including the future subject that we should cover at the D&I committee, D&I webinar in the future. So we have three great speakers, one from UK, one from Mexico, and one from Hong Kong. They all happen to be from large law firms, having multiple offices and having very long history. Andy Whitlock, please feel free to introduce yourself.
Thanks, Mummy. Yeah, I'm Andy Whitlock. I'm the resourcing and talent manager at Mewburn Ellis. Really excited to have this conversation today. Looking forward to seeing where it goes. My current role, I've been in talent acquisition for 20 years. My current role at Mewburn Ellis, which I've been in for over 6 years, touches on candidate attraction, developing our employer brand, and driving fair and inclusive recruitment practice across the firm. So looking forward to the conversation. Thanks.
Thank you, Andy. Could you introduce yourself, Mariana?
Sure. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning to everyone. Yes, as you said, I'm Mariana Vargas. I'm from Mexico. I'm current partner in the IP practice, of course, in of Basham Rinchi Correa, short version Basham. We are a very old firm. We are more than 110 years old. We're a Mexican firm, so a very traditional firm in certain way, because we began too many years ago, and we have 4 offices around Mexico, and I was one of the first. I was the first female partner at the firm. I think it's 3 years ago now, so I'm not an old partner. And I'm also member of the D&I committee here in the firm, not only in AIPPI. So I'm as Andy, Andy Whitlock, I'm also focused in trying to foster this D&I policies and see how we can have a better firm.
Thank you, Mariana. Andy, you, please.
Thank you, Mami. Hi, everyone. I'm Andy Yu. I'm a lawyer qualified in Hong Kong, in the PRC Greater Bay Area, as well as in the UK. I'm currently a senior associate in the IP department of Deacons based in Hong Kong. I've been with Deacons for almost 10 years. As some of you may know, Deacons is the largest independent law firm in Hong Kong. Our headquarters is in Hong Kong, but we've also got offices in China, including our own Beijing trademark agency. We have got one of the largest IP practices in Hong Kong. We've got more than 80 people in our Hong Kong office and China office, and we provide full IP services. As for myself, my major area of practice covers IP and technology related work. On the IP side, I don't have a technical background, but I mainly focus on trademark portfolio management, enforcement, and commercialization. And on the technology side, I focus on technology transactions, advisory work, as well as a lot of data privacy compliance work, especially involving cross-border data transfer from and within China. And I'm also a committee member of the Young AIPPI Young Members Committee. So I look forward to the discussion today. Thank you.
Thank you. So we have great speakers, 3 speakers today, and I understand that all of us are very interested in attracting young talent to IP field. So as a starting point for today's discussion, I'd like to ask all our panelists, why is the attraction of top motivated young talent so important to the IP industry right now? And what do you see as the most pressing challenge regarding the recruitment and development of young professionals in your respective regions? First, could you answer Mariana first?
Sure. Thank you, Mami. Yeah, that's a great question, and I will say that attracting top motivated and young talent is not only crucial for IP industry, but also in general for law firms. But in this case, of course, for us is crucial because individuals, young individuals, bring fresh perspectives, technological understanding, innovative approaches, and those are vital for adapting the rapid technological changes. And as you know, also having young talent opens the possibility of connecting with young clients, especially in IP. Our clients are many times are entrepreneurs, are persons related to technology, are many times they are, or usually they are from the millennial generation to Gen Z. It is no longer a surprise that seeing that young talent in their 20s becoming millionaires because some innovations they created. So firms need to speak the same language that these potential clients. So of course, I read in some publication, White Post publication, that engaging young professionals drive growth, improve productivity, and foster innovation. And so they are key drivers for maintaining competitive advantage in the global economy. And also OECD considers that nurturing young talent ensures the sustainability of the IP ecosystem. So I think that this is something that we have to have in mind, especially firms, law firms. And you also asked about the most pressing challenge. I think that at least in Mexico, what we have seen is one, lack of awareness of IP careers. Here in Mexico, it is not a requisite to have a technical background for becoming a patent attorney, a trademark attorney, but only the law degree. So our main challenge after the awareness is to retaining the talent, because I think that young talent now, they have different motivations, and I know that we will address this later, but I would say that's the main issue here, at least in Mexico, for Mexican firms.
Thank you. Yeah, that might be true. Andy Whitlock, is there anything that you would like to add?
Yeah, some really good points there, Mariana. I think I was going to touch on a couple of those. But yeah, I agree with all of those. Particularly that point about young talent coming through being digital natives. So that's probably a bit of a generational difference. I think as a result of that, like you said, the ability to adapt quickly to fast-moving changes, AI, machine learning, we're living in that era now. So being a digital native, growing up with this technology, means that the ability to adapt quickly and also drive the change in that area, and maybe shape the way the firm uses this technology going forward, that may sit with the young talent coming through. So I think that's a really critical point. In UK and Germany, there is a focus on technical, so scientific background. So raising awareness, like you said, within the scientific community, but also by attracting young talent, you know, from scientific academia, means that if there's certain skill sets or certain specialisms that a firm has a gap, that they identify there's a gap in a certain technical specialism, actually identifying certain students who might have up-to-date educational training in that specific area helps a firm to plug that gap and develop in the specialist areas they need to. I think another point is pretty obvious, but you protect your pipeline, you protect your future. So you could avoid attracting young talent and just say, okay, well, we're just going to recruit people when they're qualified or what have you. But actually, in firms that have a strong ethos when it comes to training and developing their own people, actually each firm is different. They have their own ways of training, and the best way to secure a strong pipeline for the future is to develop your own people, and that means attracting young talent straight out of university or industry. We've touched on raising awareness as being a key challenge. I think emphasizing the lifelong learning that you can get within an IP firm is also something that maybe not a lot of people are aware of. And then the only other point is ensuring that, because the landscape has changed and expectations are different with young talent coming through, making sure that they are aware of the support structures that you have in place, but also there's a sense that this generation coming through are more financially savvy. In the UK, for example, each year university fees are about £10,000, so that's $13,000 or 2 million yen per year. So as a result, lots of students are looking at other ways to secure revenue, get jobs earlier than they had, but also they're looking at careers a lot sooner when they start university. So what you're offering has to be really clear, probably at an earlier age than it was before.
I see, quite interesting. Andy, you are the youngest among us, so in that sense that I'm so interested in what your thought is.
Thank you, Mami. So I totally agree with what Mariana and Andy mentioned about, especially about raising awareness and also sustainability, obviously. So I just wanted to add a quick point in the context of Hong Kong, because I think IP is quite a hot thing in Hong Kong. the Hong Kong government and also the Chinese government, one of their key objectives over these years has been to position Hong Kong as a regional IP hub. I'm not sure if you guys heard of the term GBA area, which means by Greater Bay Area. It basically covers the Guangdong provinces and Hong Kong and Macau. And then both governments have been putting a lot of resources to help enterprises and also, startups to develop IP and provide support for R&D activities in that area. So say in Hong Kong, we've got this very recent new system called a patent box system, which is similar to the UK one. They basically provide tax incentives for enterprises to develop and conduct more licensing activities, commercial IP activities in the area. So we do need, from that perspective, we do need new blood and new perspective, not only from the legal side, but also from the technical side. We need patent attorney to do the drafting. We also need the IP lawyers to provide their legal input on closing deals, litigating cases. So we do need, new blood and young talents to bring in fresh perspectives and also to ensure that, we can remain sustainable and also competitive for the greater good in the area. Yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Thank you so much. So there are a lot of reasons that we need young talent and young blood. So next question.
Mami, may I
yes.
may I add
please,
something very quick? I just remember this this quote that I read that said, and hearing what both Andy's said and what I just share with you, that there's this belief that artificial intelligence may be a threat for the firms, but I read that the real threat is not it is not IA, but a lacking of young talent who can manage that artificial artificial intelligence. So I think that it is a good quote, so we can start sharing this and having this in mind, right?
Thank you for sharing that. That might be really true. Okay, so next question. Let's move on to next question. So sometimes as a senior member of a firm, I often wonder what the young generation values most. So my next question for you is what are the key non-financial motivations that current young generation seeks in a career? Beyond salary and stability, how should we articulate the purpose, social impact, and the intellectual excitement of IP? So Andy Whitlock, would you go first?
Yeah, sure. It's a great question. There's not a simple answer. What do young people want, or what young talent? I think when you're working for a firm in IP, it's really important to understand what it is you're offering. So why might your role, or why might a career in IP be appealing for a young person? I guess in the UK and Germany, it's a young person who's studying science. They're thinking about their next move. They're thinking about a move away from academia. And the best way that we've found to do this is to think about the holistic package. So you're right, it's not just about the finance, it's about many, many other things. So I'm going to touch on something called the employee value proposition, which is something that recruiters talk about, but perhaps it's not something that everyone that is looking to attract young talent is aware of. Essentially, the EVP, the employee value proposition, is a comprehensive package of everything that that is being offered by a firm. So it's reward, it's recognition, it's career advancement, and it typically has 5 different areas. So you look at the financial stuff. So yes, salary is important, but so is annual leave, so is work-life balance, so is your pension scheme. This is becoming more and more important. When I was looking for a job way back when, I didn't even think about pension. But now, actually, this generation coming through, like I said before, a lot more financially savvy. They want to know that a firm cares about them, not only now, but going forward. So there's all the financial stuff. Then it's really important to articulate what the role is about. So we talk about working for an IP firm. Actually, there's a lot of variety to it. So what is the variety in? What type of clients can you work with? Where are you going to be working? What's the location like? What's the actual office like? What's the working environment like? You get to work at the cutting edge of science. Everyone says that, but what actual work are you going to be doing, and what type of science could you get involved with at your firm? Another part of it is the career progression opportunities. So you're going to market, offering a role. Actually, where does that role lead? Is there a clear career path? Because once you've established, I guess, once you've established what the role is, you need to know what the next part of that is. And once you qualify, what do the opportunities look like? And I think probably one of the most important ones is going to be the people and culture at your firm. So how transparent is the firm? What is the leadership like? Do you have a hierarchical structure? How approachable are your people and your support teams? What's the level of flexibility? That's a massive one. So I read the other day that in the UK, since January 24, over 1 million people have left their jobs because the flexibility wasn't where they wanted it to be. Lots of firms are kind of getting everyone to come back into the office full time. So where does your firm stand in terms of work-life balance and flexibility? But also how inclusive is your firm? So another thing that I read was that 2 out of 3 young people applying for roles look at the diversity and inclusion policies of a firm before they apply. So if you're passionate about that and you work for a firm that is quite progressive in this area, then make that obvious to your candidates. Highlight it in your job adverts or put it on your website. And then the final piece is your employer brand. So what is the purpose of your firm? What are your values? Are the values hidden away somewhere that no one can see, or are they front and center? And actually, how do you demonstrate those values? So it's okay to articulate them and write them in a list, but actually, do you have actual examples of where you might be demonstrating those values? And that could be around environmental issues, sustainability, social responsibility. Do you give back to the community? And these are the things that are really, really important for young talent coming through. So it's really important that we articulate them and we explain them. The role is the role, but actually, what kind of environment are you going to be working with? What kind of people are you going to be working with? So yeah, these are the critically important things. And then just on how to articulate, once you've understood all of that and you can kind of package it up, the best way to then share that message is through people. So being honest, people don't really want to hear, young people don't want to hear from partners or recruiters like me. They want to hear from other trainees or people doing the job who are maybe 2 or 3 years in, who have come from a similar background to them. They might be a similar age. So you can utilize many different ways to help tell these stories, but always putting the human element first. so the message can resonate and the message can land with the people that you're trying to attract and recruit. It's really important. So for example, one example, at Mewburn Ellis, we've made a suite of films from various different people across the firm at various different roles, ages, backgrounds, and what have you, all talking about their lived experience of working at Mewburn Ellis. And from that, we hope that those messages, those stories resonate with the audience that we're trying to attract.
Wow, you have a lot of suggestions. It's very, very interesting, and I learned a lot. And is there anything that you can add?
Yeah, I totally agree with what Andy just mentioned. I just wanted to share experience of our firm. I think the point about having great culture and then mouth of words actually matters a lot in terms of whether you can influence certain people to join your firm or your department is really something that really matters. And within our firm, obviously, we do have a structured internship program, and we do have summer intake and winter intake, and then we do actually put in place a student buddies or / mentorship program where actually our existing trainees or some junior lawyers who were trained here, they were tasked with the responsibility to be the mentor, to actually speak with the students coming in, share experience, because even though they are more senior than the students, but then they can still speak similar language, their generation gap is relatively smaller. So this really matters, I think, in terms of whether or not you can attract attract young talents into your firm, or for a full service firm, whether or not you can attract people into your department. Why do you have to choose IP? Obviously, there could be a lot of different choices. You can be a corporate lawyers, you can be a litigation lawyers, but then these kind of things actually help bring in perspective and also practical experience for young talents to understand why they should actually join IP. So apart from that, I just wanted to add that I'm an IP lawyer, so this kind of questions actually come in 10 years ago when I decided to join the IP profession. I think one of the key considerations is whether or not you aside from like Mami mentioned, financial stability and also work-life balance. Apart from that, I think the job sense, the sense of satisfaction from a career development perspective also matters a lot. So like Mariana and Andy just mentioned, IP is an interesting area because it's fast developing. There are a lot of new laws coming in because of technology, because of AI in recent years. So there are always something new to learn, and you do need to keep up with new updates. And from that perspective, it's intellectually challenging to students and young talents who wish to learn new things instead of repeating the laws which has not been changed for years in certain areas of practice. And in a way, it is also challenging because you have to be creative to provide solutions to solve new legal problems, which there may be a lot of gray area and there may not be a lot of case laws providing guidances. So you have to be creative. And being an IP lawyer, I think especially for IP lawyer who practice across IP litigation, transaction, and prosecution, I think it requires a more comprehensive and all-rounded skill set, especially because if you wanted to be a full-service IP lawyer, you have to be you have to be good at your advocacy skills, negotiation skills, and strategic thinking in order to be able to provide IP full services to your clients. And from that perspective, it is an interesting mixture of work to lawyers who wanted to touch upon different legal skills, at least from the perspective of an IP lawyer. So one final point, I think that's also one of the considerations that I take into account when I join as an IP lawyer. I think IP is a true global practice. I think this is one of the example where where we can actually see how IP is a good practice. We're having a webinar, with different lawyers and different, stakeholders across the world, talking about IP, talking about, IP practices. So in our firm, our firm is a independent law firm in Hong Kong, as I just mentioned, but we do work a lot, very frequently with local associates around. And because we've got, local clients in Hong Kong and in China looking to expand their business around the world, and that's where we need, legal input from local lawyers. And on the other hand, we do work with a lot of foreign agents where they have foreign clients who are looking to enter into Hong Kong and also the China market. So the two-way workflow actually brings in a lot of opportunities for collaboration. And for people who love to not just, practice law in Hong Kong or in China, then that's a really good opportunity for you to actually expand your practices. And you have to actually understand, even though you are not practicing law across the ocean, but then you still have to understand some basic concepts and of the laws and what's happening around the world in order to be able to, provide more useful and helpful and practical advice to your clients. Yeah.
Thank you, Andy. That's very true that, as we are doing now, we have a lot of opportunity to talk to many people from all over the world, and it's a great thing. Mariana, is there anything that you would like to add?
I think that both Andy's addressed pretty much all, but I just wanted to add or to highlight regarding the positive work environment, because young generations need to feel part of something. I mean, it is not that in other generations that we just wanted to find something with stability and just being in the best firm ever, even if it is not aligned with my purpose or or what I want. So I think now as Andy will say, they are really interested in learning what the place which are joining, what is this place, what is the philosophy, what are the values, and it is aligned with the purpose and the values that it is also that you also mentioned, because they seek themselves to be aligned with the company's goals and values, and in the same time, once they find that these goals and values are aligned with themselves, they feel part of something, and then they get this commitment with the firm, with the purpose of the firm, with the work that they are doing. So I think that's something that it's very important for firms to have in mind. And also, I'm not sure if you mentioned, but in line with the first point, or one of the first points that Andy mentioned, that the professional development opportunities, I think that the young generations are also looking for continuing education. They also they are interested in companies or firms that invest in their ongoing learning and development. I mean, not just and it is part of taking care of the talent, not just seeing them as an asset, which they are, but in an asset that you are investing in, not just coming in and taking everything from them, but you are also trying to invest in certain way in this talent. We are taking care of their needs, in this case of their education, and also because they can stay up to date and competitive in the job market.
Thank you. So there are a lot
just to add really quickly,
Yeah,
just
please,
to
Sue,
add to
please.
that. Sorry,
Okay.
sorry, Mami. I think it's not just about your professional qualifications as well. So if you're part of a firm that is really committed to learning and development, like we are at Mewburn Ellis, and it's not just about, okay, we'll support you to pass your exams. Actually, it goes beyond that. Do you train in softer skills? Do you have confidence building sessions? Do you provide language lessons? Do you provide other facets of being a good attorney? Do you provide tutorials on that? Do you get cohorts together to share learning? So it's about the learning environment, like you said, the learning environment as a whole, and not just the professional side, I think is really important to highlight as well.
Thank you. That's a great point. So I understand that there are many points that we can appeal our profession to young talent. But the next question, my question is how we can outreach. What innovative outreach strategies have you found successfully in engaging prospective talent through universities and social media? Specifically, what are the best ways to capture the attentions of students whose primary focus is not law or science? This question goes to Andy Yu.
Thank you, Mami. So picking up on the point that I just mentioned, we've got an internship program, and basically we intake around 40 to 50 students per year, and they will be placed into different departments of their preferences. And IP is one of the more popular choices because I think from our conversation with the interns, they think that IP is interesting because apart from the point that I just mentioned, they also think that it's always close to daily life, and it's also quite close to what they are actually learning at the universities. So one of the examples that I can share is that one of the IP interns that joined our IP department earlier this year, I have actually assigned him to work on some different use cases and working on the prompts with our new in-house AI tool. So our firm has recently rolled out a new in-house AI tool, and we do need to actually figure out some, use cases and to figure out how to streamline our workflow by having, someone to test out how to use the AI. So this is one of the key tasks that the IP interns has taken on when during his stay with our department. And from my conversation with him, he is actually very excited about that because he thinks that it actually helps us to improve our work and our workflow, and they also get to experience what real lawyers' life actually is, because they can also ask questions that they're interested when they are actually trying out the workflow, the use cases, and to also interact with us. So this is one of the I'm sure that internship program exists across different firms, but this is one of the experience that we've got. And apart from internship, we've got a task force called Deacons Care. It is a task force actually created by our former head of IP. So from time to time over the year, we organize pro bono visits and events for underprivileged students in Hong Kong. We invited them to, some of them are just primary school students. Some of them are, early secondary school students. And we invited them to actually visit our firm, to attend our firm. And then we frequently use, storytelling to teach them some legal concepts. And IP and data privacy are one of the more, because they're close to daily life, right? You can easily understand, IP and data privacy through stories. So these are one of the more popular topics that we have used in, this kind of pro bono visits and events for students. And our firm also participated in a program called Life Buddies, which is co-organized by the Hong Kong government and some NGOs. Basically, the idea is to pair up our lawyers in Deacons with some ethnic minority students in the community and match them as mentor and mentee. And then we, across it, the program basically lasts 1 year. And then once they have been paired up, we will actually, have, coffee talks with them, coffee chats with them, and also, help them to navigate their current challenges faced at school, or if they have any questions about their long-term career. We do have, some mentorship for them to actually help them to understand what their preferred career or prospective career is like. And apart from that, we also have senior lawyers, including partners, attending guest lectures and conferences held by universities. We do have close relationships with university professors and academics. And we invited not just to speak on traditional IP law courses, but also on a lot of related hot topics such as legal tech, fintech, AI, and data privacy. So these are the occasions where we can actually reach out to the university community to actually speak to the students. And our firm aside, I think another innovative strategy is one of the example is the Young Members Committee of AIPPI. Obviously, I have one of the members, committee members, and this is as you all know, this is a community where members age 36 below are qualified to join as young members. And I think it is an excellent platform for people with, similar background or at a similar stage of life or career to make, meaningful and new connections and friendships. So and it also provides because obviously it's difficult for younger lawyers to convince the firm to allow them to attend business trips, overseas business trips especially, and also devote resources and time, because we are all fee earners. So it's actually hard if you don't have a legitimate justification to persuade your firm to participate in international organization or community. And I think the Young Members Committee, obviously, I understand that not just AIPPI has Young Members Committee, but also other organizations as well. But this is, I think this is a great platform for people to make great connections. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm so impressed that your firm has a lot of outreaching method. You said that you are even outreaching to the elementary school student or junior high student. It's unbelievable. It's a great thing. Okay, so I will have a next question. My next question is what are the most no, I'm gonna ask this question. So could you share a brief success story or defining career moment from an early career professional in your firm or region? This question goes to Andy Whitlock.
So I've got a couple of examples, and they're probably some of them are more general, but I'll try and be as quick and specific as I can. The first one is pretty boring, but it's about basically implementing an inclusive process. And the reason this is so important is because if you have you can have lots of attraction strategies and you can drive candidates to your firm, but if your interviews are inconsistent, or they are not relevant to the role, or perhaps your interviewing managers aren't trained, or there's unconscious bias, and you haven't invested the time to make sure that your process is inclusive, then your reputation and the word of mouth traction that you might get disappears. So by investing in a lot of investing time into making sure that your practice and your recruitment process is quick, efficient, it minimizes unconscious bias, everyone's on the same page and aligned, yeah, it's consistent, then you build your reputation. An interesting example of this is a candidate that was interviewed in 2022. They had a couple of offers from a number of firms. They didn't choose our firm at the time, but last month I got an email to say, Andy, I remember being interviewed at Mewburn Ellis all those years ago. The interview process was fantastic. The feedback I got was amazing. I really enjoyed speaking with the partners, and I really enjoyed the process. I'm about to qualify. Can I apply to rejoin you? And I think that example just shows that that person in particular, A, kept our firm in their mind, but has also probably spoken to people in their network about the process at Mewburn Ellis, and also used the feedback that we were able to give them to further their career as well. So it's really important having, it's a bit boring, but it's really important to have a really solid process that everyone kind of gets behind, everyone in the assessment process. Another example is our referral scheme. So we rolled this out 3 years ago. This is for internal people referring others into the firm. So since we rolled it out, and this was November 22, so it's been going 3 years, we've had 12 successful referrals. And that is an example of most of the roles have been entry-level roles or more junior roles. So obviously that's young talent joining our firm, enjoying the experience, being trained, being developed, and actually enjoying the working environment that we have, and then telling people in their network, could be their friends, could be family, could be people in their wider network or acquaintances, you know, keep an eye on Mewburn Ellis or keep an eye on whatever firm. And actually that helps to build the employer brand and the general reputation. So that is one measurement of success, I suppose. I'll just give you one more example.
May I, sorry to interrupt, but you mentioned that the referral scheme, that's quite interesting. So how would you do that specifically? You are asking junior lawyers to do referral for whatever that your friends and your acquaintance. How would you do that?
So there's a number of ways, and there's organizations there that specialize in referral schemes and that will do the whole thing for you. We kind of did a homegrown approach. So we have a really good intranet system called the Hive, and we were able to promote the referral scheme internally on the Hive to make everyone aware of it. We offer a cash payment for any successful person that is referred. They are then treated like any other candidate. There's no bias given to them because they've been referred. They will be interviewed in exactly the same way as everyone else. If they then are successful after a certain period of time, which in this case is 3 months, then the referring person gets paid that cash sum. And it just helps. We would hope people would refer their friends and family anyway, but actually with the additional incentive, financial incentive, it just helps give people that nudge. And actually when they're at conferences or speaking with people in their network, actually they've got a reason then to maybe discuss roles or opportunities. So yeah, that's worked really well.
Thank you.
But it doesn't have to be cash. It could be other benefits, you know, that might work particularly well at your firm in your local regions or what have you. The other example I was going to give was this year we put in place a kind of an insight week, so kind of like a mini internship. But we specifically targeted people studying AI and machine learning. So it's the first one that Mewburn Ellis did. We had case studies, networking opportunities. People got to write blogs, practice writing claims. There were a couple of social events as well. So hugely successful. We got 250 applications, and we ended up taking 8 people on, and over half of them went on to apply to us. So this, I think, was the first of its kind to really target a specific technical specialism, and we ended up making a hire from that. So that was the icing on the cake, really. So I guess the point is there's a number of ways. There's lots of multiple methods that people need firms need to adopt a blended approach to attract young people.
Thank you. All sounds very great. So I will ask the same question to Mariana. Could you share any success story to us?
Sure. Well, as similar to Andy, I can share different things, and I firstly I would like to remind you that in Mexico, I think the main problem is not attracting the talent to the firms, but retaining them. So having said that, I would like to share with you that here in the firm, as I told you from the beginning, we're a very old firm, but I think that we are proud to say that many of our partners, I would say that most of our partners have been trainings. They have been their career here in the firm since they were trainees, so they did internships, and they eventually developed their own careers and became partners. So I think that in general for us, it's a story of success, because we have been able to, through the years, to retain the talent. And I would like to share some of the actions that we take for maintaining this I would say that this tradition. We even in the field, some people call like the Basham School, because our purpose is like that, to train young attorneys. We are a full service firm, so we train them in different ways, as Andy said, not only in the law field, but as persons, as individuals, as develop all the skills in all senses, in the way that they can be prepared, not just for working at Basham, but working at any firm or anywhere. So the skills that they learn here, they are useful for working in other. I'm proud to say that even some boutique firms are comprised of older partners where in certain point of their lives they belong to Basham, or they work at Basham as trainees, as attorneys. Of course, we cannot keep all talent, but we try to maintain this. We usually do internal seminars for sharing not only lectures about law or law developments or regulation developments, but also to talking about D&I topics, motivation topics. These seminars are conducted usually abroad, Mexico City. I mean, not here in the office, not during the week. I mean, it could be in the weekends, and we go away for a quick trip, and we have the opportunity of sharing with all the people. I mean, lawyers and young lawyers and young attorneys and partners, and they can share their perspectives or their concerns. So I think that having this kind of communication, it has been very useful. And we also do that, but in a very small version. We have this like internal networking launch every 2 weeks. So since we are full service firm, we need to be in touch with other practices of the firm. As you know, sometimes we are just focusing on our work, and we don't have the opportunity of sharing with other practices what we are doing, and even that may increase even the cross-selling, because sometimes you learn that, I don't know, the corporate practice. I mean, this is easy to say, but corporate practice is doing something, and it may be there's something that like IP can help there, or I mean, it has been useful. And something very useful for us, and it has been like a tradition here for the firm, is something that Andy, you also share, is that participating in associations, not only national but international. But for us, it is like a very a good opportunity to be in touch with young talent and potential talent that may join the firm. Our firm was founder of the Mexican AIPPI chapter. So it is like a tradition to be active there. And we usually try to motivate them to join and actively participate the local associations, so that they can eventually attend international congress of international associations, and in that way they are also sharing and learning about others. And this is something that it is connected with what Andy Whitlock said, that this kind of referral from others may be useful. So I think I will stop, because I think we're out of time, but that's what I wanted to share.
Thank you, Mariana. I think I will give Andy you just 1 minute. If you can share any success story in 1 minute, that'd be
Yeah,
great.
sure. Well, I think for deacons, we've got similar situation as what Mariana just mentioned. Many of our partners actually started as a trainee, or after they newly qualified, they joined our IP department. And then I think I just wanted to mention that early specialization actually helps, in a sense that it helps them to build a lot of sense of belongings to the firm, to the department, and also show the department that they're loyal, and they are also familiar with how to work things around within the department, and also within a big firm across different practice groups. So I think in a way it gives some edges to people who can actually early specialize in IP. Yeah, that's just what I wanted to add.
Thank you so much. So today we discussed a lot, and I think I myself learned a lot. There's something that I already knew, but there are many things that I didn't know. So I can try many things after this discussion, and I hope that the audience also learned a lot. Thank you so much, three speakers. We had a good time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.